Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Nelson Network with me, Thomas J. Nelson from Big Block Realty San Diego, where I'm never too busy for your referrals. And everyone say hi to Jason Gordon from AmeriFirst Financial.
Hi everybody.
Jason's my number one lender. He's my rock star. He's the one that all my buyers that are smart enough to use him work with when we're in transactions, and that could be VA buyers, conventional refi clients that I send them for people that are already homeowners. And then occasionally we do an FHA here and there.
Sure.
But let's get into the introduction of Jason by finding out, how did you choose to go into mortgage? And because there are different types of mortgage jobs, what made you decide to pick direct lending?
It's a great question. So unlike a lot of my competition and mortgage professionals in general who enter the industry through these inbound call centers, I got a job at Wells Fargo Bank when I was 21 years old. I got a job in branch banking, and as many bankers would tell you, in branch banking you are taught a little bit about a lot of things, but not all that much about any one thing. It's the classic jack of all trades, master of none. And so I knew intuitively if I wanted to advance in my career, I needed to pick one, specialize in it, and I chose lending, and here I am right now.
It takes a specialist, especially in markets like we're in right now, to properly advise their clients on different options and strategies. Speaking of which, what are some of the biggest challenges you're facing in the recent past market to the current market and the market you're seeing coming up as a mortgage lender?
Well, I think the biggest challenge I have as a mortgage lender in general is that the industry has evolved quite a bit since I got into it. And not to hang on to the past for too long, but when I got in the business, this is back in the 90s, I'm dating myself. I was only 2 years old when I got in the business, by the way. No. Back in the 90s, when I got in the business, people weren't walking around with a computer in their hands.
Right.
And there weren't commercials out there every 20 seconds commoditizing our business. And we were the true consultants, the true advisors. And I relished that role. And now with technology the way it is, and I'm not going to unwind technology, I know this, people tend to commoditize you.
When people call you and say, what's the rate? How do you educate them on the difference between rate shopping and, which is kind of a myth, because there's more to it. There's, the choice of the lender makes a huge difference in both the service they get and the fees. So how do you educate them? How do you kind of get their attention off that, I'm going to go look at 10 lenders pricing?
Well, each situation's a bit unique. I have no script. The thing I know about scripts, the problem with scripts is the person you're speaking with doesn't know their lines. So every time I'm speaking to somebody, it's very impromptu. But one thing I like to let people know, and your viewers I hope would like to know this too,
I think so,
is that on any given day, on any given program, any given lender has at least 10 different interest rates on their rate sheet. So if there's no other distinction other than the rates, everyone would just pick the lowest rate. Why bother having the other 9?
Right.
Well, there's a bona fide reason the other rates exist, because the more you pay in cost, the less you pay in rate. That's the idea of paying points for your loan to buy down the rate below market. The flip side is the more you pay in rate, the less you pay in cost, because lenders get what's called credits that they can apply to all these other third-party fees, like the escrow company, the title insurance, the appraisal.
So it really then, to me, seems like it's important then, if you take that aside for a minute, pick the lender that you want to spend the next 30 to 90 days working with and potentially create a relationship with that down the road you want to refi with, that's going to take good care of you. And then plug in those numbers and work with that lender on those numbers.
Correct.
Kind of coming off of this question, what's something that you would love to educate the public on about mortgage lending or getting pre-approved for a loan? What do you think's a common mistake that you see that you want to solve right now?
I know this sounds like a canned phrase, but I mean it very sincerely. If you're not paying cash for the home, which most of us don't have the ability to do, the logical first step in the home buying process is to get pre-approved for a mortgage.
Exactly right.
Not pre-qualified where it's a tell me, don't show me conversation.
Right.
Pre-approved is respectfully, I don't need you to tell me, just show me. I'll analyze and I'll tell you what you're approved for based on an analysis of your goals, how you look on paper, and what the actual guidelines are for Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, HUD, VA, or other. And that's really the process, because number one, it not only takes away all the mystery of what the numbers are for that client. Number two, if there's anything in the way, there's a mistake on the credit report, there's a need to pay off a certain debt, maybe involve a co-borrower, we can diagnose that early, get it taken care of, and let the client shop with confidence. And as I tell a lot of our clients, it's not just our camp that we have to be worried about. I mean, obviously in this case, Thomas and I are helping someone get pre-approved so they can shop with confidence, but it's not just about us. We have what I call opposing counsel, which is that seller and that agent who's representing the seller, especially in the market we've kind of coming out of right now, where there's so many different buyers trying to buy the same home.
Right, a lot of competition.
We have to have, whether we like it or not, we have to be able to let that seller and that agent helping the seller know that our client is indeed ready to go, that they are a bona fide offer and they will be able to perform if their offer is accepted. So it's not just about us.
Right.
It's about opposing counsel as well.
Tell me something exciting about your business. Like, give me a memorable moment with a client or a deal you did, something that stands out to you.
Well, I'll preface this by saying that I help home buyers and homeowners regardless of their marital status. I have a very unique specialization that makes up about a third of my business, where I'm helping divorcing homeowners and home buyers with financing. When someone's going through a divorce, there's a lot of financial changes, we'll just call them, that cause us to have to constantly rework the file. And so I do a lot of what we call divorce equity buyouts, where one spouse is seeking to stay in the home and buy out the departing spouse by removing him or her from the loan and giving him or her their share of the equity, called the divorce equity buyout. And I do a lot of these. And I had one just about 2 years ago that really tugged at the heartstrings. This was a male-female couple. She was a victim of ongoing domestic violence. In fact, he was actually incarcerated at the time where she reached out to me to try to buy him out. It was a tough process from the approval side. I'll spare you the details, but we had to do some maneuvering to get her approvable. And in the end, we got her approved. And the amount of tears and of joy and just the exuberance she had when I was able to let her know, we have funded, you were on the loan and the title by yourself, you have made him whole, you can move on, and it felt like a real good intrinsic shot in the arm.
That's awesome, though. I mean, and that just goes to show, we talk about choosing the lender first, not just shopping the rate, choosing the realtor, not just, what kind of discounts do you give and all that. Because as you can probably hear from what Jason's been telling us, we get really involved, and there's some really unique situations that a transactional lender or agent is not going to deal with. They're in for the quick deals, the ones that go smoothly, and what I find is that relational people like us, we tend to get clients like that because they need that extra care, and we're there to give it to them. If you're looking for a lender to either refi your home or to buy a home, and you want to get in touch with Jason, you can look at the information right below this video, or get in touch with me, or just Google Jason Gordon. He and I are partners in crime, so we're always available to you to serve you and your referrals. Jason, thanks for being on my show today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And folks, I want to thank you for visiting us on another episode of the Nelson Network. I'm Thomas J. Nelson with Big Block Realty San Diego, where I'm never too busy for referrals, and something tells me neither is Jason.
Not at all.
Thanks, folks.